Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, so sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys, could hit that like button. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course, I always do greatly appreciate it. Now, with all of that in mind, let's just move on. Let's talk about a few things. So, the overall market is still kind of just ranging on in a sideways, boring fashion, which is most likely going to be the move for the next couple days. But I'm definitely going to be watching today closely because yesterday I did tell you guys about the number 3 address that has been, selling a lot of Bitcoin. Looks like they bought some more after they did sell the other day over the weekend, which I thought was pretty concerning. We're going to be watching Bitcoin closely, as we do know that, in terms of the dollar, we are still seeing some strength growing around the dollar. On the micro view, we might see a little bit more capitulation, which is totally expected. Levels on Bitcoin that I am watching for is possibly about like the 35.5K to roughly about the 36.5K region. And if we do see those regions being tested, we will see some lows on XRP. Just prepare capital if you guys do want to buy that dip. Most likely, if we do see those lows on XRP, we will most likely either see possibly, which by the way, I'm not saying that the lows can't be already in. We're going to be talking about that as well. But we will most likely see a test of this level here at about roughly 50, almost 51 cents. I don't believe that we go lower than this, but if we do, we will most likely test this demand zone at about like 44 cents. But more so, look for a buy range at about 50.5 cents, almost 51 cents. To roughly the level that we just almost tested recently at about like 55 cents. But the reason why I say that our bottom could be in is because we've had a significant bounce off of the 200-day EMA at about 56.5 cents, as you guys do see from the blue line. So if we do hold this level, that's great. And in fact, it looks like we are almost building support at around the range of, the January timeframe. So I'm just gonna go and say it. It looks like our bottom could be in for XRP, but of course, we want to watch Bitcoin closely. And talking about Bitcoin, for everyone who has lost confidence around a bull run, alt season, whatever the case may be, let's talk about that real quick. So, yesterday I did make a video on Bitcoin, more so the on-chain metrics. Shout out to Plan C, but we do see here. Entity adjusted realized cap relative 90-day rate of change. Now we do see here the 10 times higher price than Bitcoin visited this oversold zone 2 years ago. And here we have those regions that we were at. The last time that we were at is, of course, 2020. We did a massive 10x plus return from those levels down here in terms of price. You guys do see that on the chart. Here's that March of 2020 low. Here's the topping points that we've seen on Bitcoin. You do see the region where we are at currently. You kind of compare and contrast this to even the past before, by the way, which is like, 2015, if you will, 2015, 2016, before, of course, the 2017-2018 bull run. You also do see it in 2012. Mind you, if this level does start to turn back up in terms of strength, like we've seen back in 2017, back in 2020 into 2021, guys, we are looking for an incredible rally on Bitcoin. Also, another really good on-chain metric. Now, I know a lot of people continuously say the on-chain metrics don't matter at all. Guys, yes, they do. 100% they do. We do see here the 90-day net growth of Bitcoin, non-zero balances, addresses following the 2017 cycle top versus 2021. You see this? This tells me that we did not see a significant top for Bitcoin. In fact, we haven't even seen peak euphoria. We haven't even seen euphoria itself along the market. Ask anyone who is an altcoin holder how their year has gone in terms of 2021 and even 2020. Sure, did they make gains? Yeah, 100%. But is it peak euphoria? Absolutely not. We do see, again, the 2017 cycle top, 15.6% down. Look at this. Absolute massive spikes in terms of non-zero balances. Do you see any massive spikes over here? No. It's just uptrend, a major uptrend. But there is no major spikes that would tell us, again, that there is a mass sell-off event, if you will, which tells me that the cycle is not done. And we actually do see here, this makes it look like a current super cycle. And it does. It looks like we could be sending Bitcoin to roughly 100K plus in terms of a super cycle. Now, I know that this goes against everything that a lot of analysts have been making, but again, this would be very good for our altcoins. In fact, on XRP, I have been calling $10 to $15 for a while. We could see these levels being pushed even higher. Again, it all depends on Bitcoin. Like I've said, the more money that flows into Bitcoin, the better it is for your altcoin holdings, as that is more capital that does get flown around throughout the altcoin market as well. These massive capital flows is what we want to see in terms of this market. And of course, I've been addressing the dollar for a while, as well as we do talk about a lot of these altcoins, specifically even XRP, because we want this to start to fall. This is where we will see most likely a pivotal moment in this market. On the weekly chart, you guys do see us gaining some massive momentum. The steam is there. We have broken out of our March of 2020 heights. And when we talk about this, we go look at the daily candles right now. We're building sort of like a bull flag formation here. I'm hoping that this actually formulates into a massive downtrend, similar to what we did see during March of 2020 when we did see a nice bull flag formation almost. As you guys do see, here's that bull flag formation. It's almost like a fake out, right? You think that this is going to go even higher and break out, but ended up massive downtrend followed by sideways momentum for a little bit of time, which this lasted quite a bit. I mean, honestly, if you think about it, off of that third candle day, we're technically actually on the fourth candle day right now. So we'll go off of the fourth candle day. So for this to actually get to its massive breakout trend, or breakdown trend, sorry, it took about 65 days. Okay, now if we have about 65 days from this point on, if we're talking about from this candle here, if it does flip bearish, which I hope it does. I mean, of course, when we look at a lot of things around the dollar right now, the dollar has been continuously gaining some momentum. But this would take us to roughly around July 7th. Now, mind you, okay, when we talk about how long this took to get to the downtrend in terms of some massive momentum throughout even the altcoin market and crypto, it took about roughly 200, okay, to the bottoming point on the US dollar, 288 days. And I don't believe that's going to take us 288 days, but just for the sake of the video, we could look at where this would take us in terms of 288 days. And this would stretch all the way into, of course, 2023 of February. Now, do I foresee this happening? Not technically, but it almost looks like we are, in currently a reset market back to almost like the 2017-2018 timeframe. But of course, I would argue that this entire market is completely different. And I've said this multiple times. But we look, pretty good in terms of the dollar topping here. I would love to see us kind of do a 180 here. Maybe our topping point was roughly at around the range of like 104. I'm going to be watching this metric throughout the week, as I've told you guys multiple times, to really kind of pay attention to this specific metric itself, because this is going to tell us a lot more about the overall market. I have been addressing the total 2. I talked to you guys about the total 2 so many times, right? We're at this moment in time where we are also gaining a lot of support here, which this is like why I've said to pay attention to altcoins on these massive lows when Bitcoin does, start to capitulate a little bit of, the weak hands in this market. We look at where the total 2 really kind of came down to test. Again, it's a higher low formation going back to the February lows. And it almost looks like we are gaining a little bit of support. I would say that the support range would most likely be around like $974 billion here. But, altcoins, I'm not too focused on altcoins just yet, as we want to actually see Bitcoin gain a lot of momentum here. Because, like I said, the higher Bitcoin's price goes, the more money that will flow throughout the altcoin market itself. So, again, pay attention to that. If we look at the XRP Bitcoin price chart, this actually has been holding up fairly strong. Also, mind you that this is probably one of the biggest signals of massive accumulation happening on XRP. So I've showed you guys this chart multiple times in the past. This is also why I foresee an incredible breakout pattern on XRP this year. So we kind of look at, the past. Specifically 2013, 2014. So again, there's not a ton of price data here, and I've looked through, a lot of the price data on some of these other ones, like for an example, like Bitstamp, right? Bitstamp has the most amount of price data from my perspective, just for the current range. But Binance has had the price range going all the way back to almost 2013, 2014, and I've looked through all of these to try to get better, momentum off of those, 2013, 2014 timeframes, but I could not find anything else that had more price data. So for the sake of this video, I'm only going off of what I can foresee here in terms of 2013, 2014, but I'm sure this was most likely in a downtrend before it started to break out and hit some heights in 2013. But we do see, again, those 2014 heights as well. This had some nice spikes, but I'm more so paying attention to this massive downtrend. Now, mind you, a lot of these altcoins in a bear market, yes, they will have massive downtrends in terms of their Bitcoin price charts as Bitcoin does gain momentum. This was down 95.80%. This spiked up all the way to roughly 6,164%. But this was not even the topping point. This was May of 2017. Its topping point was actually around 5,774% off of those lows. Currently, if we look at where we are from those heights in, again, 2017 and 2018, we came down to test 97.3%. Now, this was during the, SEC lawsuit. So, we can't go off of that specifically. We can kind of go off of our range that we're in now, because I would say our bottoming point is roughly around this point here, which is, again, at around like the 94% range. The reason why I bring this up and the reason why I talk about this chart is because everyone is still kind of worried about, did XRP miss the boat? Did XRP miss alt season? There's a ton of altcoins that did not have peak euphoria, and I've mentioned this multiple times. This is also why I say, do not just pay attention to one specific altcoin, and also when there's altcoins pumping, like for an example, Dogecoin, right? Dogecoin did an incredible, year in, again, 2021. Mind you, there's a ton of altcoins that are doing continuously massive moves. You can go to the biggest gainers right now in terms of the entire market. On the 24-hour span, look at all these, meme coins and things like that that are doing astronomical moves. There's always some altcoin moving at a massive rate compared to most of the market. And I'm not saying that this is my excuse for why XRP has not moved. Trust me, I think that the XRP price move is most likely due to, again, the SEC. It looks like we were building this massive momentum back in November of 2020, and I told you guys that this was the time to really kind of, pay attention to XRP, because this was on an almost massive breakout event with the rest of the market, and then all of a sudden the SEC lawsuit came in. But in fact, I think that the SEC lawsuit is actually technically a good thing if you think about buyer demand around XRP once we do see, some sort of regulatory clarity. But either way, XRP, in my opinion, will have an incredible bull run simply because of the massive amount of accumulation this has been in since its topping point. Since its topping point, we have been in a 1,582-day downtrend on the Bitcoin price chart. It's been in a sideways momentum for 1,500 plus days. We go back to the 20, I really wish that I could see more price data here because I know that a lot of these altcoins have not topped out specifically at, key levels going back to like 2013, 2014. We could kind of see it on this chart in terms of where our topping point was officially back there. It's such a small spike compared to what we've seen in like 2017, 2018, but it was roughly around like the 13th of December or December of 2013, sorry. So we go back to like December of 2013, and honestly, the Bitcoin price chart for this was not at an incredible level. You guys do see it here. So we'll kind of go off of this range here. So it took a few days to get to the point where we did start to really have a massive breakout event. But you do see how many days it actually took to get back into this massive uptrend. It took 1,470 days. We are long overdue. We are, in fact, it's almost over 100 days in terms of an overdue massive move on this chart, which tells me that the tsunami of moves that is going to happen in the altcoin market is going to happen once we do see Bitcoin's next major move. I don't believe that Bitcoin topped. We look at the metrics in terms of on-chain metrics. It is extremely bullish. I've shown you guys the total too. I've shown you guys Bitcoin's price chart. We are building massive support while everyone is so fearful. Guys, I am very, very excited for this year ahead. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. But with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.